Another really interesting project that I was working on before COVID-19, interrupted our lives, was a project to proactively identify adverse drug reactions using medical records. So there's a really great example from about 20 years ago when there was a drug called Vioxx, which is kind of like a stronger version of Advil. And it was recalled because it was discovered 5 years after it was put on the market that patients were having a higher risk of heart attacks or strokes when they were taking this drug. So clinical trials are really great at discovering short-term side effects, things like skin rashes, headaches, vomiting, but there's often longer-term side effects that aren't yet known when the drug is submitted to the FDA for approval. And that's things like the heart attack, strokes, cancer, that just take time to surface. Another common problem that we run into is that clinical trials are often biased in terms of who they recruit. So they often exclude patients that are taking other medications, for example. So we might find out after the drug is out in the wild that certain combinations of drugs are resulting in adverse reactions that we just hadn't seen before. So the project that I worked on was creating an automated program to look at the medical records of all the people in that huge database that I was talking about who were taking a certain drug. So that would often be hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of patients, and then see if there were any adverse events that were more common in those patients than in patients who looked like them but weren't actually taking the drug. The goal being that if there's another situation like Vioxx that comes along again, we want to be able to identify that, hey, patients taking this drug seem to have higher rates of cancers than we'd expect to see. We should really look into this further and assess the impacts of these drugs in this different population or on this longer time scale than what was previously done in clinical trials.